All this is, guys, is a Rolls Royce brochure. So I want you to understand how the other half lives. So Rolls Royce itself, it says strive for perfection. So I'm asked these questions all the time. What do we do? And I put in there EJ Pretty, right? So he has himself a standard. This is how EJ wants it to look. And you notice it's perforated. It looks like real gold because sometimes you want to be synonymous with who you want to brand yourself towards, who you want to sell. It's just like with Dr. Breakthrough. This is welcome to their 2018 yearbook. So this is the older yearbook that I had gotten. I took my mother-in-law over there because that's what we do. We don't just say it, we dream build. And that's a Rolls Royce Cullinan. Just so you know, that's a $690,000 car. So from a $598 to a $690,000 car. So we open up the book. What do we see? This beautiful Rolls Royce with the pano roof. Something to know about a Rolls Royce is a handmade vehicle. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember Jay-Z actually purchasing one of these. But this car is just insane. So it's going to take you at least 6 months for them to finish the build out on a Rolls Royce. How do I know? Because Bernie Moreno used to own a Rolls Royce dealership. And we had every right to sell a Rolls Royce as much as we had to sell a Mercedes Benz. So they begin to tell you the story of Bentley. W.O. Bentley. Working life took him on a long and not always easy journey, but there can be little doubt that the maverick engineer transformed motoring. So for those of you who don't know, Bentley and Rolls Royce used to be one company, but then they separated. So I want you to see what you're looking at here. Even in their older technology, you were looking at high level features and finishes. Where you see chrome, it's real chrome. Where you see gold, it's real gold. Where you see high finish leather, it's high finish Italian design leather. And so they began telling the whole history of Rolls Royce. And I'm not going to waste a lot of your time, but I'm going to show you what Diamond VIP is. I want people who would buy a Rolls Royce to see Diamond VIP and say, wow, that's what I designed. I may have shared with you, some of you guys know this, when we first started out, the only thing I was looking at was getting a Rolls Royce at some point. And this was from things that we were doing in the past, not even about Diamond VIP at all. But the Lord told me to stop attending to Pharaoh's business. See, this is Pharaoh's business. If you just want me to break it down for you, it's not that God minds you having something like this, but if you have something like this with a selfish mentality, and for those of you who don't know, Mercedes-Benz Maybach is their version of basically a Rolls Royce. Of course, there's the Bentley, and we got this at a Rolls Royce Bentley dealership, even though now they're two separate companies, but they keep the story connected. So notice how you never see a Rolls Royce ad on TV. You'll never see a Rolls Royce discount anywhere. Why? Because they're saying once you build something with excellence and quality, whoo, this is for somebody. You never really have to discount. And so something that I do so that you understand at the highest regard, the reason why people love doing business with me, I don't tell EJ Pretty to give me a discount on his wares. As a matter of fact, the one time he tried to give me a discount, I told him, nope, you will not be giving me a discount. I'm going to pay what your retail sticker is. And it was 50% off. Why did I do that? Because every period he worked his behind off to get to the level that he's at. He worked for a lot of the leather people. He worked for Louis Vuitton. He worked for Gucci. He worked for Prada. So why am I asking him to discount what he's giving me when I know he's gone out of his way to give the highest quality return on my investment? So all I really wanted was that item. But to me, it makes more sense to give that money to Every Pretty than it does to go to Louis Vuitton, who won't even show up for my funeral if I die. I'm just another number to them. And so when I say things like this and I say, hey, look, guys, we can be the Rolls Royce of what we do. I'm not just some dude talking, guys. I want you to understand. I'm not a guy just saying, oh, let's be like Rolls Royce because I felt like it was something cool to talk about. No, you are talking to a car guy who knows what he's talking about. I've seen these transported in private carriers. I want you to imagine who God said we are, right? He tells them Canaan, they're going to go to a land flowing with milk and honey. I'm getting ready to drive through the desert. And this is it. How are we ever going to be seen as the next version of Starbucks? I use examples of people who have been taken advantage of for years because they're talented. We are some of the most talented people in the world, but until we see value in ourselves, how do we expect anyone else to see value in us? Now, you've looked through this book and you've probably seen plenty of brochures in your lifetime, breaking down all the dynamics of the car, telling you about the wheel ratios and all that stuff. But Rolls Royce doesn't waste 1 second on that stuff because they realize the credibility of who they are is already baked in to the excellence that they present. I'm asking you to present excellence. I'm not asking for your least best effort. I'm looking for your best effort. And I can ask you for excellence. Why? Because I only give you excellence. I built this the best way I humanly knew how. We have 3 offices now working on a third here with Jimmy Katuta down at a call center right on the strip with a panoramic view of the strip. Guys, anything you want to see happen, we can make happen. But the reality is none of it will happen if you're lazy and you're not doing your end of the bargain. When you walk in Starbucks, you expect that cup of coffee to be just like it was 20 years ago, but 10 years ago. You expect it to be exactly the same. And that's what I expect from you. And that's how I can say until we're sipping soup through a straw, Diamond VIP will be here. God bless you all. Have a safe and wonderful, wonderful Easter. God bless you. Love you to life.